Continuing with we start with the cry of the seventh Aethyr, which is called Dio. The stone is divided, the left dark half, the right half light, and at the bottom thereof is a certain blackness, a 3 divergent columns, and it seems as if the black and white halves were the halves of a door, and in the door is a little keyhole in the shape of the astrological symbol of Venus. And from the keyhole issue flames, blue and green and violet, but without any touch of yellow or red in them. It seems as if there were a wind beyond the door that is blowing the flame out. And a voice comes, "Who is he that hath the key to the gate of the evening star?" And now an angel cometh and seeketh to open the door by trying many keys, and they are none of any avail. And the same voice saith, "The 5 and the 6 are balanced in the word abrahadabra, and therein is the mystery disclosed. But the key unto this gate is the balance of the 7 and the 4, and of this thou hast not even the first letter. Now there is a word of 4 letters that containeth in itself all the mystery, the tetragrammaton, and there is a word of 7 letters which it concealeth, and that again concealeth the holy word that is the key of the abyss, and this thou shalt find revolving it in thy mind. Hide therefore thine eyes, and I will set my key in the lock and open it. Yet still let thine eyes be hidden, for thou canst not bear the glory that is within. So therefore I covered mine eyes with mine hands. And yet through my hands I could perceive a little of those bowers of azure flame. And a voice said, "It is kindled into fire, and that was the blue breast of ocean, because this is the bar of heaven, and the feet of the Most High are set thereon. Now I behold each tongue of flame, each leaf of flame, each flower of flame is one of the great love stories of the world, with all its retinue, missaid and seen. And now there is a most marvelous rose formed from the flame, and a perpetual rain of lilies, and passion flowers, and violets, and there is gathered out of it all, yet identical with it, the form of a woman, like the woman in the Apocalypse. But her beauty and her radiance are such that one cannot look thereon, save with sidelong glances. I enter immediately into trance. It seems that it is she of whom it is written, 'The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God.' But the words are not Ein, Alhim, but Law and Elohim, contracted from 86 to 14, because Law is 31, which times 14 is 434. Daleth, Lamed, Tau. This fool is the fool of the path of Aleph, and saith, which is Chokmah, in his heart, which is Tifereth, that she existeth in order first, that the wisdom may be joined with the understanding, and he that affirmeth her in Tifereth, that she may be fertile. It is impossible to describe how this vision changeth from glory unto glory. For at each glance the vision is changed, and this is because she transmitteth the word to the understanding, and therefore hath she many forms, and each goddess of love is but a letter of the alphabet of love. Now there is a mystery in the word logos that containeth the three letters whose analogy hath been shown in the lower heavens, Samek and Lamed and Gemel, that are 93, which is thrice 31, and in them are set two eyes of Horus. Ein means an eye. 4. If it were not so, the arrow could not pierce the rainbow, and there could be no poise in the balance, and the great book should never be unsealed. But this is she that poureth the water of life upon her head, whence it floweth to fructify the earth. But now the whole Aethyr is the most brilliant peacock blue. It is the universal peacock that I behold. And there is a voice. Is this not the bird of Juno that is 136? And therefore is she the mate of Jupiter. And now the peacock's head is again changed into a woman's head, sparkling and coruscating with its own light of gems. But I look upwards, seeing that she is called the footstool of the Holy One, even as Bina is called his throne, and the whole Aethyr is full of the most wonderful bands of light, 1,000 different curves and whirls, even as it was before, when I spake mysteries of the Holy Kabbalah, and so could not describe it. Oh, I see vast plains beneath her feet, enormous deserts, studded with great rocks, and I see little lonely souls running helplessly about, minute black creatures like men, and they keep up a very curious howling that I can compare to nothing that I have ever heard, yet it is strangely human, and the voice says, "These are they that grasped love and clung thereto, praying ever at the knees of the great goddess. These are they that have shut themselves up in the fortress of love." Each plume of the peacock is full of eyes that are at the same time 4 times 7, and for this is the number 28 reflected down in the Netzach, and that 28 is Kaf, Cheth, Koch, power. For she is Sakti, the eternal energy of the concealed one, and it is her eternal energy that hath made this eternal change. And this explaineth the call of the authors, the curse that was pronounced in the beginning, being but the creation of Sakti. And this mystery is reflected in the legend of the creation, where Adam represents the concealed one, for Adam is Temura of Mod, the Enochian word for God. And Eve, whom he created for love, is tempted by the snake, Nechesh, who is Messiah, her child. And the snake is the magical power which hath destroyed the primordial equilibrium. And the garden is the supernal Eden, where is Ein, 70, the eye, the concealed one, and the creative lingam, and Daleth, love, and Nun, the serpent. And therefore this constitution was implicitly in the nature of Eden. See Liber L 1, 29-30. So that the call of the authors could not have been any other call than that which it is. But they that are without understanding have interpreted all this askew, because of the mystery of the abyss. For there is no path from Bina unto Chesed, and therefore the course of the flaming sword was no more a current, but a spark. And when the stooping dragon raised his head unto Doth, in the course of that spark there was, as it were, an explosion, and his head was blasted, and the ashes thereof were dispersed throughout the whole of the 10th Aethyr, and for this all knowledge is piecemeal, and it is of no value unless it be coordinated by understanding. And now the form of the Aethyr is the form of a mighty eagle of ruddy brass, and the plumes are set alight, and are whirled round and round until the whole heaven is blackness, with these flying sparks therein. Now it is all branching streams of golden fire, tipped with scarlet at the edges, and now she cometh forth again, riding upon a dolphin. Now again I see those wandering souls that have sought restricted love, and have not understood that the word of sin is restriction. It is very curious. They seem to be looking for one another or for something all the time, constantly hurrying about. But they knock up against one another and yet will not see one another or cannot see one another because they are so shut up in their cloaks. And a voice sounds, "It is most terrible for the one that hath shut himself up, and made himself fast against the universe, for they that sit encamped upon the sea, in the city of the pyramids, are indeed shut up, but they have given their blood, even to the last drop, to fill the cup of Babylon." These, thou seest, are indeed the black brothers, for it is written, "He shall laugh at their calamity, and mock when their fear cometh. And therefore he hath exalted them unto the plain of love." And yet again it is written, "He desireth not the death of a sinner, but rather that he should turn from his wickedness." Now, if one of these were to cast off his cloak, he should behold the brilliance of the Lady of the Aethyr, but they will not. And yet again, there is another cause, wherefore he hath permitted them to enter thus far within the frontiers of Eden, so that his thought should never swerve from compassion. But do thou behold the brilliance of love, that casteth forth 7 stars upon thine head from her right hand, and crowneth thee with a crown of 7 roses. Behold, she is seated upon a throne of turquoise and lapis lazuli, and she is like a flawless emerald, and upon the pillars that support the canopy of her throne are sculptured the ram and the sparrow and the cat, and a strange fish. Behold how she shineth, behold how her glances have kindled all these fires that have blown about the heavens. Yet remember that in every one there goeth forth, for a witness, the justice of the Most High. Is not Libra the house of Venus? And there goeth forth a sickle that shall reap every flower. Is not Saturn exalted in Libra, Daleth, Lamed, Tau? And therefore was he a fool who uttered her name in his heart. For the root of evil is the root of breath, and the speech in the silence was a lie. Thus it is seen from below by them that understand not, but from above he rejoiceth. For the joy of dissolution is 10,000, and the pang of birth but a little. And now thou shalt go forth from the Aethyr, for the voice of the Aethyr is hidden and concealed from thee, because thou hadst not the key of the door thereof, and thine eyes were not able to bear the splendor of the vision. But thou shalt meditate upon the mysteries thereof, and upon the Lady of the Aethyr, and it may be by the wisdom of the Most High that the true voice of the Aethyr, that is continual song, may be heard of thee. Return therefore instantly unto the earth, and sleep not for a while, but withdraw thyself from this matter, and it shall be enough. Thus then was I obedient unto the voice, and returned into my body. Wa'aint Shah, Algeria, December 9th, 1909, 8:10 through 10 p.m. And one difference that you see with my painting here is that I have incorporated color coding, and I included all the letters of the Angularum Bonorum. There are 49 bees prefacing, but in each corner. You know, the mystery of the 4 connected to the mystery of the 7. The experience of myself being taken in 3 layers. Well, not myself, but my, my body. And the spirit, soul, true self, the jiva as it's called, beyond these planes being operated. But we see various things of meaning and otherwise. I've made a more complete reference for the Enochian material. For my comment on the vision and the voice elsewhere. So you'll see that on the Enochian list and on the Aleister Crowley list.